Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Woodbury High School as TSV Television presents its first edition of high school football in 2019. I'm Mike Beat, and all by myself, talking to myself. We have the 2-0 Mounds View Mustangs, one of the top 10 teams in the metro area, according to the Star Tribune, and a top 10 team in Class 6A, taking on the Woodbury Royals. Woodbury 0-2, the record a little misleading, if only because Woodbury has played the top two teams in Class 6A, who wouldn't surprise me if we see them in the final, Eden Prairie and Lakeville North.
The officials for tonight's game from the St. Paul capital city.
It is a beautiful evening for football. Temperature about 60 degrees. It'll get a few degrees colder once the sun sets, but a big warm-up is on the way, so it shouldn't get too chilly tonight. But it will certainly feel that way as we move along.
I'd like to give a special shout-out tonight to our 2019 smoke sponsor, Tina Lochner, with the home.
So before this game starts, let's give you a little matchup, a little preview here. Jake Wenzel, the quarterback. Woodbury, not a lot of big numbers. They've only scored 14 points in the first two games, losing in big fashion to Lakeville North at Eden Prairie, 24-7, 42-7. Brock Reinhardt and Parker Thies are a couple of players to watch. As far as the ground game goes, Charlie Wilson, the top receiver. Mounds View will kick off. Woodbury will receive to start this game. Woodbury wearing the blue, Mounds View wearing the white and green. So kicking off for the Mustangs is number 13, Jack Rober, and we're underway here at Woodbury. The kick is fielded by number 10, Fahim Belfatmi. He finds the space on the right side, and a good return for the Royals. Woodbury will start their first series at about the 30-yard line. The starting lineup for Woodbury on offense: Jake Wenzel, the quarterback. Parker Thies, the fullback. Brock Reinhardt, the tailback. The receivers: Mac Lochner, Nathan Hoyer, Charlie Wilson, and Joel Frommel. The offensive line: Brett Lievenhagen, Lucas Wright, Jake Rains, Mason Barrows, and Zach Chamberlain. 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Royals. Jake Wenzel looking to bounce back from a couple of rough weeks. It's a delayed QB sneak, and he'll gain 2 yards out of that. Mounds View starting defense. They run a 3-4. The defensive line: A.J. Hunt, A.J. Brown, and Amin Mustafik. The linebackers: Cole Sandall, Drew Lindgren, Nate Rewald, Brendan Dunigan. The secondary: Jake Radabaugh, Tommy Wolt, Ben Kettlehut, and Matteo Cisneros. Mateo. Well, we've got a Mounds View staffer here, so at least for one team, I'll have all the pronunciations if I say something silly. 2nd and 8 following the 2-yard run for the Royals. It's a handoff, and that will push the pile another 2 yards more. The ball carrier for the Royals couldn't quite make it out. That was Reinhardt, number 5, the tailback. So 3rd and 6 coming up for Woodbury. 3rd and a short 6. Need to get the ball past the 40-yard line to convert. Woodbury started the season in the top 10 in Class 6A before losing to Eden Prairie and Lakeville North. But they could get back there. Bootleg. And Mounds View snuffs it out. Cole Sandall was the first to get to Wenzel, and it will be a 3-and-out for the Royals. Last year, it was Woodbury with a convincing win over Mounds View. So, as we noted, records a little misleading. Woodbury is much stronger than their 0-2 record suggests. Mounds View is not going to overlook this team one bit. And we will preview Mounds View following the punt. It's a short one. A fair catch is called. And it's fielded by number 10. Matteo Cisneros. Mounds View will start their first series. with good field position at the 36. Starting lineup, Mounds View's offense, the quarterback, Cole Stenstrom. Tight end, Drew Lindgren. The receivers, Colin Hoyta, Jack Robert, Tate Lahr. The running back is Brian Tibbett. The offensive line, Elliot Lee, Jed Liang, Bill Catola, Grady Sheartz, and Brock Nelson. 1st and 10 from the 36. And some names and numbers we don't quite have, and we have a flag here on 1st and 10. The high school league is still working on getting their roster page updated, so some of the roster information has come in bits and pieces for us. But some players to watch for Mounds View. Cole Stenstrom doesn't pass a lot.
Offside, number 8, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And Woodbury hit with encroachment. So a free 5 yards. Drew Bramlett, the guilty party, and it's 1st and 5. Cole Stenstrom hands it off to Brian Tibbett. He's looking to turn the corner, and he won't get there. He's wrapped up by number 13 for the Royals. Here is the starting defense for Woodbury. Up front, it's Sean Pugh-Sikora, Trenton Wilner, and Marty Ream. The linebackers, Donald West, Cole Smutney, Tyler Christensen, and Jack Bungarden, the guy who made the tackle. The secondary, Isaiah Walters, Drew Bramlett, Joel Frommel, and Fahim Belfatmi. So a few two-way players. Shotgun formation, passes complete. Tibbett lost the ball. Woodbury falls on it. Tibbett had the 1st down. It goes out of his hands, and Woodbury recovers a big play with 9:01 remaining in the 1st quarter. It was Mundahl who made the initial play. Nice work by the Royals. They'll get 1st and 10 from the 45, and Mounds View's first series is a short one. Handoff to number 5, Reinhardt. He won't get much, a yard on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Woodbury. As we said, Woodbury looking to get a little more momentum on their side. But playing the top 2 teams in the state, in Eden Prairie and Lakeville North, they have run the tables in 6A for the last several years. Gives you a sense of what you need to step up. And Mounds View, they're no slouch, as the first couple of games have indicated. We'll talk more about all of that as the game moves along. Second and 9. Reinhardt has some space on the right side, finds a hole, still going. He's dragged down from behind, but not before he gets a 1st down at the 32-yard line. That is a gain of 22 yards, the longest play from scrimmage thus far. As we said, Woodbury's stats may not jump out at you. They haven't had a lot of success in the first couple of games this season, but Reinhardt was averaging 4.5 yards a carry. He could up that total here if he does well enough. Reinhardt and Theis are the 2 guys to keep an eye on. Reinhardt in motion. He takes it on the toss, lunges his way forward for a couple more yards. It will be 2nd and 8 from the 30. So Jake Wenzel content to send a heavy dose of Brock Reinhardt. Second and 8. Reinhardt again. No gain. Met at the line.
44.
Cole Sandahl officially credited with the tackle, but there were a host of Mounds View Mustangs waiting for him. Key third down here. You're outside field goal range. I would imagine this would be 4 down territory. In college and the pros, a little different, but yeah, I'm not sure if your kicker can go 47 yards. Hopefully Woodbury won't have to answer that question here as they face 3rd and 8. Wenzel trying to get Mounds View on the snap. And the hard count does not bait the Mustangs. Jake Wenzel will call a timeout. Wenzel on the season, not a lot to speak of, just 2 of 11. I should say 11 of 34, not 2 of 11. 1 interception, no touchdowns yet. Wenzel does have 2 rushing touchdowns, though, for the Royals. And on the season, as we said for Woodbury, they are looking to get their first win.
Next timeout is Let's Go Blue. Next timeout is Let's Go Blue.
Key third down here. Woodbury tried to bait Mounds View on the hard count. It did not work, and they were forced to burn a timeout. Well, Wenzel, he's not going to go to Reinhardt. He's going to go deep. Wants it all, and he's picked off by number 10 of the Mustangs, and he's got room to run. He cuts to the right, looking to turn the corner. He's at the 30, and he will be taken out of bounds past the 35-yard line. Mateo Cisneros with the interception, so both teams trading turnovers, and that stops the Woodbury drive. Mounds View will take over at the 37-yard line. A tough break for the Royals on 3rd and 8. Mounds View. Cole Stenstrom on the season, 16 of 36, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ground game is going to feature Brian Tebbett heavily. He has 199 yards in the first 2 games, 5.7 yards a carry. Colin Hoyda, 7 catches for 118 yards. Jack Rober, 4 catches for 97 yards. They are a couple of the receiving threats to keep an eye on. But the ground game features heavily with these 2 teams. Brian Tebbett for Mounds View. Brian Tebbett and Reinhardt for Woodbury. Tebbett sees a hole up the middle and will pick up 4 yards on first down.
On the carry, out to the 42-yard line. Tackled by
Mounds View, 2 wins. They came against Burnsville and White Bear Lake. Mounds View fought off a deficit and scored 17 unanswered to win, and Woodbury snuffs that play out in a hurry. Stenstrom with nowhere to go. He loses 2, and a long 3rd down coming up for Mounds View. It will be 3rd and 8.
Parker Tice on the tackle.
Parker Tice making the stop. Shotgun formation. Stenstrom in trouble. Down he goes. That's what you call a coverage sack. Stenstrom had a moment or 2 in the pocket, but it will be a 3 and out. The Mustangs will have to punt.
To Sikora. Ream on the tackle. Brings up 4th and 8 for the Mustangs from the 40.
Sikora with the stop.
Let's Go Blue after this kick.
And this will be our first chance to see Woodbury on special teams. Isaiah Walters, the punt returner. Tate Lahr, the punter for Mounds View. It's a short one, and it will take a Mounds View bounce. Walters will let it go. And a decent punt for Tate Lahr. That will spot Woodbury at the 18-yard line with 3:58 remaining in the first quarter. Woodbury will play Stillwater next week. Going on the road for that one. And the ball carrier on this play is number 10 for the Royals. Wilson. Charlie Wilson, that's number 16, I should say. He'll come in on some direct snaps, it looks like, but only gains 1.5 yards out of that. Cisneros making the stop. Second and 9. Charlie Wilson again under center. Wilson rolling right. Pass is complete to number 17. And he'll get a first down and a couple yards more. Cole Heather with the first down conversion. He picks up 10 on the play, unofficially. And we'll see if Woodbury can move down the field.
29-yard line. 10 Royals, 4 for 29, and that's enough for another Royal.
First and 10. And Wilson has some space down the left side. Wilson taken down at the 38-yard line. A big gain for Wilson, but there is a flag in the backfield. That usually means holding. And that is indeed the call.
There's a flag on the play in the backfield.
Holding. Offense. Number 52. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Mason Barrows hit with a holding penalty. And I've called football on and off over the last several years. This is the first time at a regular season game where the officials are mic'd up, which will make our job a little easier. A little, of course. But that wipes away what would have been a big gain on the part of Woodbury, as Charlie Wilson found some space, and sometimes that's usually how it turns out. Sometimes that's usually how it turns out. That didn't make any sense, did it? First and 18, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, of course. Wilson will keep it after the fake handoff, and he will push the pile forward back to the original line of scrimmage and slightly past it. So Woodbury will have second down and 9 from the 30-yard line.
Why are you standing like this? You have your feet like this.
Yeah, it's wonderful tonight. You're a football player, you can do shit.
Wilson staying under center. Here's Reinhardt. Sweeping to the left. Mounds View stays with him. No gain on the play. 3rd and 9 coming up.
And number 55, Amin Mustafa. 3rd and 9 for the Royals.
Hey, band. We are not going to play in the first quarter break. the cheerleaders are doing something. We're not playing.
3rd and 8. Last time Woodbury faced this down and distance, they were picked off. Seeing a lot of Charlie Wilson here in these last couple of series. 3-step drop, Wilson, plenty of space. Rolls to his left. Pass was tipped and intercepted. A second interception, this one charged to Wilson. And it's number 21, Brendan Dunnigan. And Mounds View will have tremendous field position.
10-yard penalty. They'll decline. 4th down.
There was a holding call on Woodbury, but yeah, Mounds View was going to decline that. So it will be 1st and 10 for the the Mustangs.
Gretchen, interception. 1st down, Mounds View.
1st down, Mounds View, from the 43-yard line.
And Mounds View will have good field position, just 38 seconds left in the first quarter. Cole Stenstrom, he was picked off in his first series, and then a 3 and out for the Mustangs in the second series. Stenstrom in the shotgun going deep. The pass is caught by number 13, and Jack Rober will take it all the way for a touchdown. No flags, a 43-yard strike. Cole Stenstrom with his 3rd touchdown of the season. And Jack Rober picking up his 3rd touchdown in the air. Rober, as we noted, he and Boyda, the 2 biggest threats. Through the air for the Mustangs. Ben Samuel to kick the extra point. It's a low, but good. Low but good kick. And in one play, Mounds View gets on the board 7-0, scoring off the interception that led to a 43-yard touchdown pass from Cole Stenstrom to Jack Rober. Mounds View going on the road today for Woodbury. They will be on the road next Friday as well at Minnetonka, and then they host Stillwater. Visit Cretin-Durham Hall, Eastridge, and Roseville. So quite a few good teams, Minnetonka and Cretin-Durham Hall. A couple to watch in Class 6A. And you knew Jack Rober, he could catch touchdowns like that, right? 3 times by my count. Have a little fun with the Mounds View crew who is next to me. So in 9 seconds, that's how long the drive was. 1 play, 9 seconds. Stenstrom connects with Rober. And I'd like to thank all of you who are watching this on my YouTube channel and on tape delay at CTV North Suburbs. CTV syndicating our games featuring schools in their coverage area, and they've got plenty in the North Metro. So Jack Rober, who caught the touchdown pass, will kick it off, and Woodbury in a hole. And that will be a touchback. You cannot run it out at the high school level. So no return for Isaiah Walters. Woodbury will start the next series at the 20 with 27 seconds left in the first quarter. First and 10. Wenzel back under center, and that is an incomplete pass. That was a forward pass.
Kettle heading. Wilson. It's going to bring up second for the Royals.
Second and 10 following the incompletion. And another incompletion, making it 3rd and 10. Third and 10, following back-to-back incompletions from Jake Wenzel, and Woodbury will use their second of 3 timeouts in this half. If you're watching this on YouTube, going in chronological order, our next broadcast will be tomorrow. Stillwater and Duluth East Boys Soccer, a rematch of last year's Class 2A state championship. And next week, we will head to Holy Angels. They host Robbinsdale Cooper. Both of those schools with historic and lots of tradition in their football programs. Holy Angels and Cooper at the Star Dome in Richfield. That should be a lot of fun. Holy Angels has produced a ton of talent over the years. And then we'll have a few more games for you at the end of the month. Volleyball, football, and a couple of soccer games if everything goes according to plan. So Charlie Wilson, he was taking his first snaps at quarterback this season. They tried him out for a couple of series. It didn't pan out as planned. So Wenzel back under center. Woodbury, they fake the handoff to Reinhardt. Mounds View will stop Wenzel before he can get to the first down. So another 3 and out. So Woodbury's offensive production to start this game leaves a lot to be desired, and they have 3 quarters to figure that out as we reach the end of the first quarter. Mounds View leads Woodbury 7-0. And if you would like to support TSB television programming and help us achieve our mission of long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes, visit us at patreon.com/TSB television or paypal.me/TSB television. Patreon, if you'd like to make a monthly sponsorship. PayPal for a one-time contribution. Lots of great perks. Give us a visit. And in case you forgot, the quarter breaks in high school football much quicker than college and the pros. We don't have media timeouts that take eons to complete. In any event, Woodbury has to punt after a 3 and out. It takes another Woodbury bounce, and it will go out of bounds. It should be good field position for the Mustangs to start their first series of the second quarter. And the ball will be spotted at the 38-yard line. How you holding up, Aaron? You're not bored yet? Aaron, the cameraman up top.
Volunteer line. Chain game tonight. Bruce Soma, Mark Hargis, Lisa Baskey, Rolly Palmer, and Steve.
Woodbury's student section hasn't had a lot to cheer about, and it looks like Mounds View, they're wearing pajamas? USA theme. I saw some red, white, and blue over there. Well, maybe it's USA pajamas. It's USA. That's a common theme, of course. I take it Friday the 13th themes, Jason Voorhees, that didn't go over well. It is Friday the 13th, and it's a little cloudy, so we won't be able to see the full moon. So if you're into superstitions, tridecaphobia, maybe you want to stay home. But 2nd and 10 following the incompletion from Cole Stenstrom. High snap. And breaking a tackle was Tebbett. Nice job by Brian to at least get a couple of yards out of it, but it will be a long 3rd down for the Mustangs. Stenstrom drops back, under pressure, gets rid of it, finds Tebbett, and he has room to run. Tebbett past the 40, and he's taken down at the 38-yard line. A gain of 22. They spot him at the 39, so it will be a gain of 21. Tebbett in motion. Awaiting the call from Stenstrom. Tebbett looking to turn the corner on the right side, and he'll lose a yard. Woodbury brings him down. Number 22, Cole Smutney, with the stop. Second and 11 for Mounds View. Mustangs undefeated. Coming off a comeback 17-7 win over White Bear Lake. They trailed 7-0, and then they beat Burnsville to start the year 24-6. Stenstrom wants to throw, flushed out. And that pass is caught at the 30. It's tough to tell from here. They'll spot him at the 31. That was... get the number. That is number 6. Number 6 making the catch for the Mustangs. We'll try to get his name here. Mason Dean, that's who it was, Mason Dean. So 3rd and a couple of yards. Stenstrom will take it himself, and he's pushed back a yard. You have to imagine this is 4-down territory. You're too far out for a field goal, too short for a punt unless you pooch it. Smutney on the tackle. And Stenstrom will indeed stay on the field. Again, 4-down territory at this spot. And Stenstrom got Woodbury to jump. And if that is offside, it is. So Mounds View will get the 1st down and not have to do anything for it.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Stenstrom baits Woodbury. And Mounds View converts without having to snap the ball. A fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 27. Stenstrom with Tebbett behind him. Snap almost fumbled, and Stenstrom couldn't do much with it. He's tackled by Donald West. That play was broken from the start. But at least Stenstrom caught it, so if you're a Mounds View fan, you can exhale for the moment. It's still your ball. Stenstrom in the shotgun. Tebbett in motion. Stenstrom looking to throw up the middle, finds his target, and that is close to the first down. Making the catch, number 13, Jack Rober, who caught the touchdown pass back in the first quarter. And we will have a measurement. He caught it close to the first down, but nice catch nonetheless by Jack Rober, number 13. And the ball will be a few inches short, so it will be 3rd and inches. 7:52, the clock will start at the referee's signal.
What do you need to do right now? Okay, with us or with the dance line? Okay. Chris! Sorry.
QB sneak for Stenstrom, and he'll have more than enough. Fresh set of downs at the 15-yard line. Mounds View inching their way to the end zone. Tebbett reverses direction. It looked like he was going to roll left. Cuts back to his right and picks up a few yards on the misdirection play. He gains 7. It will be 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3.
Second and about 3. Stenstrom fakes the handoff. Mason Dean with the catch, and he is tackled at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for Mounds View. A methodic drive here in the second quarter. But they'll take it if it can get them a score.
Baumgarten and Swallow.
As we noted earlier, the high school league are revamping their website, so getting some names and numbers has been a little tricky because right now you can't print off any roster pages. So I'm thankful for the Mounds View and Woodbury head coaches for sending me their starters. Colin Hoyt's in motion, but Stenstrom will keep it himself and run it in himself. Touchdown, Mounds View. Cole Stenstrom had a couple of rushing touchdowns on the season. He picks up his 3rd here. Ben Samuel for the extra point. Gets under it this time, and it's through the uprights. 14-0. Mounds View over Woodbury with 6:02 left in the second quarter. And for Stenstrom, as we noted, a couple of rushing touchdowns. Had 56 yards rushing, averaging 5.1. Doesn't run it as much as Brian Tebbett. A more methodical drive for Mounds View, but they are marching it downfield, and the Mustangs well on their way to staying undefeated. They have proven to be a tough out this year. Mounds View, of course, located in Arden Hills. Roseville, their biggest rival. Rubber ready to kick this one off. It's a low boomer. And into the end zone for a touchback. Not a bad thing if you're Fahim Belfatmi. So it will be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Royals. But Fahim Belfatmi, could have been a treacherous situation. The ball went through his hands. As you know, you can recover it unless it goes in the end zone. So Belfatmi catches a break. Can Wenzel find one for the Royals? Runs to his right and picks up 5 yards on 1st down. That will make it 2nd and 5. Woodbury just looking to pick up a few yards here. Andy Hill, the head coach.
2nd and 5 for the Royals.
Reinhardt with the carry. Tried to sweep to his left. Only gains a yard.
Tackled by number 10, Mateo Cisneros.
Cisneros with the stop.
3rd and 3 for the Royals.
3rd and 3 for Woodbury. This is a crucial 3rd down for the Royals here with less than 5 minutes to go in the quarter. You don't want to fall into too large of a deficit. Woodbury had a lot of hype entering the season, but when you started off by facing the two teams who will likely be in the 6A final, that can change. Pass was caught, juggled initially, and with plenty of space to run is number 22 to the 47-yard line. And a much-needed 1st down. Cole Smutney making the catch. A 20-yard gain for the Royals. A huge 3rd down conversion. That ought to boost Woodbury's morale. They haven't had a lot to celebrate with turnovers, interceptions, all of that. A couple of interceptions. One that led to a touchdown. They could use a break. Wenzel keeps it himself, has a hole up the middle, and is close to another 1st down. It's a gain of 9. As we noted, Woodbury, they'll have 2nd and a short 1. Not a lot on the stat column. Reinhardt and Thies, the two worth noting. Thies averaging 13.2 yards a carry. He only had 10 carries entering this game, and Reinhardt picking up 4.5. But not a lot of opportunities for Woodbury to showcase their talent on offense. Reinhardt met at the pile, I believe 52. A.J. Hunt was among the first to get to Reinhardt, but it may be enough. It is for a 1st down. So short game, but you only needed a yard. Reinhardt runs up the middle for another 3 yards. Woodbury has 1 timeout remaining in this half for those who are curious. Cloudy, but no rain in sight as the sun sets. Reinhardt, another carry up the middle. Woodbury trying to pound it up the middle, and they don't get much. It will be 3rd and
Reinhardt on the
6.
carry, tackled by Rewald and punt. 3rd and 6 for the Royals.
Third and 6. Another key 3rd down here as Wilson in motion for the Royals. Wenzel fakes the run, or fakes the handoff, then runs up the middle again. Woodbury is not getting a lot of ground this way, and they have 4th down. They'll probably go for it here. The other thing they have to contend with is the clock. If they do convert, we have less than 2 minutes to go in what has been a quick-moving first half. Split backs for Wenzel on 4th down. And somebody moved.
Dead ball foul. False start. Number 11, offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Mac Lochner jumped. That cost the Royals 5 yards. That's going to make it 4th and about 9. We probably will go for it anyway with how much time is left. Mounds View does have all 3 timeouts if Woodbury cannot convert here. So the Mustangs could go on a quick drive if they can get the stop. But it's been all Mounds View thus far. Wilson in motion. This will be a passing play. Wenzel with the dump. And Wilson will be short. He was tackled at the 36-yard line, short a couple yards. So Mounds View, interesting situation here, 57 seconds. But they do have all 3 timeouts, and as you know, the clock stops to move the chains for every first down. So the Mustangs, we'll see if they decide to make a quick drive here. They will get the ball to start the second half as the Woodbury Band is ready to showcase their talent. And Mounds View will opt to run the clock out. So a couple of kneel downs here. They don't want to take any chances. They are content to start the second half with the ball. I thought you had enough there to double dip, but Mounds View wants nothing to do with it. So one more kneel down, and that will bring us to halftime. Mounds View, 14-0 will be the halftime score. They picked up a touchdown off of an interception in the first quarter. Stenstrom to Rober, and then Cole Stenstrom took it in himself in the second quarter from 2 yards out. Both teams will head to the locker room, and the Woodbury Band will give us a serenade of their musical talent. You're watching high school football as the clock ticks 0. The Woodbury Royals trailing 14-0 against the undefeated Mounds View Mustangs at 2-0. There were a couple of turnovers back and forth, but it's Mounds View who has proven the superior team so far, being able to move the ball downfield. So we will see what the Woodbury Band has to offer for us, and then we'll bring you the second half. You're watching high school football.
Across the Twin Cities Metro and beyond, TSP Television offers long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. It takes a lot of time and effort to give you this level of coverage. If you want to help out, visit us at patreon.com/GSP Television or paypal.me/GSP Television.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friday Night Halftime Entertainment with your Woodbury High School Marching Royals. Tonight, present their 2019 Fall Field Show, A Songwriter's Journey, featuring music written and performed by some of the hottest modern artists in popular music. Our show opens with the 2017 debut hit No Roots, written and performed by songwriter Alice Burton. After learning classical piano, voice, and guitar as a teenager, Burton earned a degree in composition and songwriting from the Pop Academy in Mannheim, Germany, and has since recorded 2 albums to international acclaim. Our second featured songwriter has a single moniker, Adele. Miss Atkins earned a degree in music from the Brit School of Performing Arts and Technology in 2006 and has since recorded 3 full studio albums which have sold over 120 million copies worldwide. We feature Someone Like You and Rumor Has It, both from Adele's album 21. Cody Ziertman will be featured on trombone, and Evan Thornton will be featured on alto saxophone. The principal of Woodbury High School is Miss Sarah Sorensen-Wagner. Assistant principals are Alicia Busnick, Mark Kent, and Aaron Pozzini. Color guard design and instruction is led by Heather Moreno. Drumline instruction is led by Matt Shervey. The drill was written and designed by Tar Katzenmeyer. The Marching Royals are directed by Mr. Tar Katzenmeyer. And the Marching Royals are under the field direction of birthday boy, senior drum major Olin Edwards. Drum major Olin Edwards, is your band ready? Crowd, let's hear it for the Marching Royals!
Across the Twin Cities Metro and beyond, TSP Television offers long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. It takes a lot of time and effort to give you this level of coverage. If you want to help out, visit us at patreon.com/TSP Television or paypal.me/TSP Television.
Mike Beaton all by myself, talking to myself this week. Next week, I should have a color guy with me. But Mounds View continuing their strong running game. We mentioned in the open, these two teams are run heavy. Woodbury will kick off to Mounds View to start the second half. The Mustangs with a 14-0 lead over the Royals. 27 seconds left in the first quarter. Cole Stenstrom connected with Jack Rober on a 43-yard touchdown pass following an interception. And then in the second quarter, Stenstrom ran it in from 2 yards out. So Woodbury kicks it off. And we haven't seen the special teams from Mounds View on this end, but it's caught by number 3. And number 3, get his name in a second, runs it out to the 24-yard line. Number 3 for the Mustangs is Jake Radabaugh. Well, that's not right. I guess it is. So we'll see if Mounds View's running game can control the tempo as it did in the first half. They opted not to go for it with less than a minute left in the second quarter after forcing a turnover on downs. They were content to go into halftime with their lead. How much more will we see out of Brian Tebbett? Well, he gets the carry here, runs through the hole up the middle, and pushes the ball to the 29-yard line for a gain of 5 yards. Mounds View going on the road to Minnetonka next week, and then they host Stillwater. I believe that is homecoming night. It is. Should be a fun one if you're Mounds View. Mounds View and Stillwater, technically, 6A, they don't do districts in the same vein, so I guess we can call them conference rivals, much like Mounds View Woodbury. Football's quirky like that. First, or I should say, 2nd and 5, and Tebbett will be chased down from behind. Making the tackle for the Royals was number 22, Cole Smutney. A loss of 3 on the play, 3rd and 8. Woodbury, they need some kind of momentum here. It's been rough seas in the first half. They've had trouble moving the ball. Stenstrom under pressure, hit as he threw. Pass almost complete, but it's dropped. Mason Dean, the intended receiver, on the coverage was number 20, Isaiah Walters, and Woodbury will force a 3 and out. No yellow on the field. Darkness has fallen here at Woodbury. But a much needed series defensively for the Royals. It's a short punt. Picked up on the 2-hop. And Walters lost the ball. And it's picked up by number 10. He shakes his defender. Mounds View will score on a fumble return for a touchdown. Mateo Cisnero, number 10, with a perfect 10 on special teams. That was 30-yard, 35-yard? 35-yard unofficially. In any event, a huge turn of events for the Mustangs. Just when Woodbury looked like they had some momentum on their side, Mounds View snuffs it out. Mateo Cisnero, A 35-yard fumble return for a touchdown on special teams unofficially. The extra point is good for Ben Samuel. What a play. 10:05 left in the third quarter, and Mounds View, well, they didn't score it in the traditional sense, but they'll take it. A big play by Cisnero. An unfortunate miscue. Isaiah Walters fielded the punt on the two-hop, and Cisnero, I don't know what happened. He just punched the ball out, was able to strip it. Yeah, it was a punch. I guess Mateo would be a candidate for the boxing team, if one existed for Mounds View. We don't have high school boxing, but if there was. MMA maybe a little too much, but but Cisnero, well, that's what they teach you. Get the tackle or try to punch the ball out. Mateo doing just that. Tough break for the Royals. They give up the touchdown on special teams. Walters will take the kick return. He's got a hole up the left side, and he's taken down. Good open field tackle there by number 13, Jack Rober. If he hadn't gotten to him, Walters would have had a lot of space to run on the left side. Decent return for Woodbury, but they got a 21-0 hole to get out of. Mounds View's been all over them. Wilson in motion. They hand it off to him. Wilson breaks a tackle. He won't break another, though. He'll pick up about 3 yards. 4 yards officially. It will be 2nd and 6. Munzel takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Wilson, and will move it up 5 yards. It will be 3rd and 1. Big 3rd down here. This is almost a drive you have to convert for a score if you're Woodbury. Wenzel trying to get Mounds View on the hard count. Calls an audible, and he will be pushed by his tailback. It was a keeper and an assist from his tailback, Charlie Wilson, and well, you don't get an assist like that, but Wilson played a part in that 3rd down conversion as Wenzel is able to cross the 1st down marker. Wenzel under center, I formation. And that play went nowhere. Reinhardt, the carrier, and he loses 2 yards. Mounds View penetrating the front line there. Parker Thies goes out, the fullback, as Wenzel lines up in the pistol. Mounds View showing a blitz, and they back off. Wenzel decided to take the option himself, and he gains a couple of yards back to the original line of scrimmage. It will be 3rd and 10. Not the kind of ball movement you want to see if you're Woodbury. They have struggled to move the ball downfield. They had a drive in their favor, and then an interception put an end to that. It has not been a good game, though, for the Royals on that front. 3rd down and 10. Got to get the ball past the 45-yard line. Mounds View defense spreads out. Wenzel kept it himself, and I'm not sure that's the play you wanted to run. He only gets a yard out of it, and here comes the punting unit. So that drive stalls, and here's a chance for Mounds View to seal this one. They have controlled this game throughout. Punter gets it off. Austin Williams. And did that go off a Mounds View player? It did not. But it does take a Woodbury bounce. I thought it went off of Cisnero for a moment. So Mounds View will have to start the next series at the 5. Moving the ball downfield has been hit or miss for them. They've scored a couple of touchdowns via turnovers, one off an interception, and then a 43-yard strike in one play. And then the most recent one, Mateo Cisnero running it in off a fumbled punt. A fumbled punt return, that is. So, 95 yards. Let's see if they can do it. As Brian Tebbett is in motion. Stenstrom fakes the handoff, passes to his left. It's complete to number 4, Colin Hoyda. We haven't mentioned his name much. Again, though, Mounds View a run-heavy team, so they don't throw the ball a lot. Hoyta, though, getting a good gain out of that on 1st down. 2nd and 2, 8 yards officially, and the Mustangs have been turning a lot of heads this season. They don't have Eden Prairie or Lakeville North on the schedule, so we'll have to see how that pans out, but you can't shrug off their 2-0 start, and they're well on their way to going 3-0. Nothing doing on that run by Tebbett. Third and 2, 4 receivers, single back. It's a play action, and the pass falls incomplete. On the coverage, and I believe making the tip, was Joe Frummelt. Frummelt gets Woodbury the stop, and Mounds View will have to punt it here. You can't chance it, even with a 21-point lead. Walters will go back. This should be good field position for the Royals. And if you're Woodbury, ball control is going to be the key. It's a low snap, low punt, and Mounds View, not the punt they wanted. Ball went out of bounds just past the 40 at the 42-yard line. So only a 28-yard punt, no return for Walters. And Woodbury, for the first time all game, will start in enemy territory. Start a series, that is, with 4:50 left in the third quarter. It's been slim pickings for Woodbury, as we noted, when you look at the stats and you look at the teams they played. You thought, okay, playing Eden Prairie and Lakeville North, playing those two teams in succession to start the year, the two teams that are often in the conversation, would have had something to do with it. But Mounds View is giving this Woodbury team a lot to contend with. Wilson under center this time. He goes deep. That pass overthrown and picked off. Number 3 making the interception. So Woodbury, once again, they get momentum and then they lose it. So Stenstrom will keep it on first down. And the 4th turnover forced by the Mustangs in this one. That was Jake Radabaugh. In the starting lineup, he was listed as 23, but he is 3. So I do want to give Radabaugh credit for the interception. Second and 9, following the 1-yard run by Stenstrom. Lines up in the shotgun this time. Empty backfield. Stenstrom in trouble, gets rid of it. Pass is deflected and falls incomplete. Colin Hoyda, the intended receiver, and a long 3rd down coming up. So Mounds View, they got the interception. That was the good news, but the bad news is they started this drive at the 9-yard line, so if they can't convert, they're going to give Woodbury decent field position again, but the Royals so far have been unable to make anything of it. Tebbett on the carry, and he can't turn the corner. He was looking for somewhere to go on the left side. Woodbury stayed with him the whole way. And another 3 and out. So the punting unit will come out once more. Now it's a 21-0 game, and it's not as if the Mounds View offense has overpowered Woodbury. Offensively, they only have 1 touchdown, and that came in the second quarter. Or I should say 2. But one of them came off an interception and a 1-play drive. Walters will let this one go, and it takes a Mounds View bounce. It will still be solid field position for Woodbury, but this time they'll start at the 39-yard line. Wilson was on the field for 1 play in that last series and threw a pick, and here comes Wenzel. Wenzel and Wilson have been trading places under center. As Andy Hill looks for the man who can lead this group. So far, it's proven difficult. 3 receivers to the left. And the check pass to Reinhardt. Reinhardt breaking tackles and lunges forward. He'll pick up 9 yards on that play, and it will make it 2nd and 1. That's a play Woodbury needed. Did a good chunk on first down. Wenzel will take it himself. Bides his time, finds a hole, and will pick up the first down and plenty more as he runs out of bounds. 40-yard line is where they spot him. A gain of 13, or should say 11 unofficially. And Jake Wenzel waited to make his move for a moment, and that allowed the defense to go right by him, and he runs out of bounds. This is a series. I said this the last couple of times, but Woodbury, they've got to find a way to turn a drive into points. This could be it here. Wenzel will take it himself again and has some space up the middle to pick up a few more yards. He'll add 5 more to his total. Wenzel, 28 carries for 83 yards in the first 2 games of the season, averaging 3 yards a carry. And he has accounted for the only 2 touchdowns Woodbury has scored. Offensively, Woodbury hasn't had a lot to celebrate. Just 14 points in almost 11 quarters, as we are at the 138 mark here in the third. Wenzel, screen pass, incomplete. Number 12, the intended receiver. And that was Scott Hansen, the sophomore. 3rd and 5. This is probably 4-down territory. Reinhardt, the single back. Now he moves alongside Wenzel. Reinhardt will carry it. He'll turn the corner. Got to get past the 30, and he will not. He'll be a yard or 2 short. Nate Rewald and Drew Lindgren are credited with the tackle. It is 4th and 2 at the 32-yard line. 4-down territory. And if Woodbury has any chance, this is a play they got to convert, as they are running out of time. Less than a minute left in the third quarter. Decent motion, moves from right to left. Wenzel's going to keep it. He has a hole, and he'll get the first down as he is tackled at the 20-yard line. A gain of 12 yards. A crucial 4th down conversion. And if Woodbury scores here, we're almost at the end of the third quarter. This is where that run-heavy offense can go against you. Woodbury may have to go to the air, but the first step in this comeback path, they got to get on the board. 1st and 10 at the 20. Wenzel looking to throw. Shakes a tackle and underthrows his target. I think he had a little more time than he realized. That pass intended for number 17, Cole Heather. That stops the clock with 16 seconds left in the third. 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Three receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and Reinhardt the single back. Hansen in motion. Wenzel with the short dump to Reinhardt. And Mounds, who's not fooled in the slightest. Cole Sandahl brings him down by his jersey, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Woodbury will have 3rd and 12 in what is 4-down territory here. This is a drive they have to convert. They've got to find a way to score points if they're going to have any chance of defeating their Suburban East Conference rival. 21-0 Mounds View over Woodbury with 1 more quarter to play. And a reminder, if you want to support TSB television programming and help our mission of long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros, check us out. Patreon.com/TSB television. or paypal.me/TSB Television. Do or die time for the Royals. They will have 3rd and 12. And as we were saying, Mounds View hasn't necessarily overpowered them on offense. It's been miscues that Mounds View has turned into points that has made the difference. In the first quarter, an interception led to a 43-yard touchdown pass. The third quarter, a fumbled punt return picked up by Mateo Cisnero, and he runs it in. So this hasn't been a completely one-sided game, but Mounds View just making more of the big plays. Third and 12. Wenzel, screen to Hansen. It's a halfback option and the right idea, but Hansen overthrows his target. Hansen is listed as quarterback on the roster. Heather, the intended receiver, and right idea by Woodbury, but Hansen overthrew Heather. What could have been a touchdown for the Royals, instead it's 4th down. And if Mounds View can hold off Woodbury here, you would think they could coast home. Wenzel. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Wenzel looking left. And the pass is incomplete. Turnover on downs. Mac Lochner, the intended receiver. It's been a quick-moving game and a relatively clean one. Not a lot of penalties. And the Mustangs, even though they haven't been highly efficient with their drives, they've only scored twice in offense, once coming off the interception. They have a chance to burn up clock and get out of here with an unblemished record still. They were 2-0 with wins over Burnsville and White Bear. As we noted, the teams they've played, they may not jump out at you, but you can't shrug off an undefeated mark, and the Prep Riders certainly haven't. They consider Mounds View one of the teams to watch in the metro area in Class 6A. Stenstrom will hand it off to Brian Tevitt. Tevitt shakes one tackle and will move his way to the 28-yard line for a gain of 6 yards. And I imagine this is what we're going to see a lot of from Mounds View if they can help it. Just run the ball, run as much clock as you can. They're not an overly aggressive team, at least from what we saw tonight. As you saw earlier, they decided to run out the clock at the end of the second quarter, so it's not a team concerned about piling up points. That pass was deflected, batted down by number 4 for the Royals. That'll make it 3rd and 4, and coming up with the deflection there was Marty Ream. As Stenstrom faked the handoff to Tevitt. 3rd and 4, and I know there's still 11 minutes left, but well, that's a situation where you help Woodbury out. I know Woodbury hasn't been able to move the ball with a lot of efficiency, but if Mounds View doesn't convert here, they help Woodbury out with the clock stoppage, and the Mustangs take the first of their 3 timeouts in this half with 11:04 remaining in the third quarter. Three-step drop, Stenstrom under pressure. Dumps it off to Tebbett, and Tebbett will pick up a couple of yards, but he's going to be short of the first down line. So I don't think you can punt here if you're Mounds View. Or I mean, go for it. But it looks like they're going to, at least for the moment. So Stenstrom's going to stay on the field. They're going to try perhaps to bait Woodbury into a hard count, and I think it's going to go the other way instead. It worked earlier. Well, Colin Hoyta jumped the gun, and now the punting unit comes out. So Mounds View was going to try to get Woodbury to jump offside, and instead they get hit with a false start penalty. Again, not a lot of penalties in this one. Certainly not a lot against Mounds View. They played a fairly disciplined game, and there are worse penalties to take. But Mounds View punts it away. Tate Lahr gets a Mounds View bounce down the sideline. And Woodbury will start their next series at the 27. Still 10:48 left, but Woodbury has not demonstrated an effective offensive system in this game. And as we noted, the offensive woes have plagued the Royals all season. Now, how much of that can you attribute to the strength of competition? We said Lakeville North and Eden Prairie are two teams that are not easy outs on the schedule. Woodbury, they've had a few first downs, but haven't really threatened all that much. Wenzel nowhere to go. But a flag comes in late. Was it a late hit, perhaps? And there was no flag. It was inadvertent. No gain on the play by Wenzel as he had nowhere to go. Inadvertent flag. And the official trying to signal to start the clock. The pass is intercepted. Another turnover on the Royals, and this time it's Nate Rawald who comes up with the pick. The fifth turnover Mounds View has forced on Woodbury. Two have led to touchdowns, and this has not been a welcome sight for the Royals tonight. They haven't been able to move the ball with a lot of success. You add turnovers on top of that. Like we said, this hasn't been a runaway game for Mounds View. They're just making plays at opportune moments. As the USA-clad student section on the visiting side is in a celebratory mood. Here's Tebbett. A flag is thrown. Tebbett will run out of bounds past the 35-yard line. We'll see what the penalty is. Brock Nelson called for holding. So that pushes Mounds View back 10 yards. That will make it 1st and 20. I'm guessing a run play will be in use here. No play action, and the pass falls incomplete. Tate Lahr, the intended receiver. And Stenstrom got rid of it maybe a split second too quickly. Lahr hadn't caught up to his spot on the route, and it will be 2nd and 20. And as we've said before, Woodbury, they've gotten some stops defensively at key moments. Stenstrom drops back. And it's Tebbett who's shaking tackles. Gets past the 40 to the 35, runs out of bounds. A big gain, and we heard that collision up here. Stenstrom dropped back and kind of snuck that handoff to Tebbett. I didn't see it, but Brian Tebbett with a solid gain there of 14 yards. And that makes it a manageable 3rd and 6. Woodbury pep band below us trying to rally the troops. Stenstrom under pressure, flush to the right, finds his target for a first down. Mason Dean. Brings the ball to the 24-yard line. Well, number 6 might go on the Dean's list. I'm sure he's heard that more than once. After that 3rd down conversion, that's a big one for Mounds View. Because you never want to make an assumption. Yes, Woodbury's had trouble moving the ball downfield, but you don't want to give him that opportunity if you can help it. Stenstrom shakes a tackle. He's going to take it himself, and he has some room to run. So he turns what would have been a sack into a gain of almost 5 yards. So Cole Stenstrom showcasing a little elusiveness there. A little fluidity in the pocket. Stenstrom in the pistol. Tebbett, high snap, and Stenstrom able to pick it up. Stenstrom throws it out of bounds. Mason Dean, the intended target. Mounds View with a couple of close calls on snaps. Third and 5 as Stenstrom going for it all. Incomplete. Jack Wilbur, the intended receiver. Isaiah Walters on the coverage. 4th and 5 at the 20. And Mounds View will attempt a field goal just to the right of the center line, if there was one. So a little right of center. Ben Samuel. This is a 37-yard field goal attempt, and it's a fake, and Woodbury not fooled. So Smutney makes the stop. Ben Samuel had one field goal on the season. And they were going to run the fake there. Woodbury was ready for it. So no points on that drive for Mounds View. But they do eat up time. Wilson under center this time for the Royals as they still look for that combination. Wilson following his blockers, runs out of bounds past the 40-yard line. He'll get the first down with a 12-yard run. That stops the clock with 8:34. as we said, Woodbury has not been an overpowered team. They've hung around. It's the turnovers that have killed them. 5. Mounds View with just 1. And that's the percentages usually indicate if you lose the turnover battle, you're not going to win a lot. As Wilson shaking more tacklers. Has some space down the left side. No flags to the 40. He'll be tackled at the 33-yard line. A 25-yard run. And Charlie Wilson moving the ball downfield. This may be the most successful running attack we have seen all game out of Woodbury, as Wilson picking up yards in chunks. Can he keep this going? Wilson with the hole up the middle, pushes his way forward just shy of the 25. 2nd and 2. So Wilson, 12 yards, 25 yards, 8 yards. This is exactly what Woodbury needed. Some first downs. They're moving it downfield in quick succession. Wilson now looking to pass, finds his target, number 17, Cole Heather. And Heather brings it past the 20-yard line. Another first down for the Royals. That stops the clock as they move the chains. Now it starts again. 7.5 to go. Woodbury. Can they get on the board? A lot would have to happen for them to make the way back, but you have to like what you're seeing if you're Andy Hill. Wilson up again with the carry. Wilson had not played a snap under center until tonight against the Suburban East Conference rival known as Mounds View. He picks up 3 yards on that carry. It will be 2nd and about 7. Low snap. Wilson does pick it up. Rolls to his left and has nowhere to go. He'll throw it incomplete outside of the tackle box, so you don't have to worry about intentional grounding. That will stop the clock with 6:41. It will be 3rd and 8. This is 4-down territory, naturally. Woodbury can't settle for a field goal here. They've got to get it in the end zone. They've made a couple of trips to the red zone, but that's as close as they've come. Third and 7 about. You got to get the ball to the 9-yard line for a first down. Wilson rolls to his left. Shakes a tackle. Throws a short pass there. And that was caught by Walters. Short of the first down marker, 4th down. Woodbury, they got to go for it here. Five-yard gain. Wilson tried to bait Mounds View there, and Woodbury will call their first of 3 timeouts in this half. A reminder, next week, we're at Holy Angels, a 4A perennial as they host Robbinsdale Cooper, a 5A perennial. The difference between the two has been postseason play. Cooper, they've struggled to come up clutch in the postseason. Holy Angels, as recently as a couple years ago, won a state title in football in Class 4A. SMB, the team to beat, though, with Jalen Suggs in Class 4A. So that's our one game next week. And then we'll have another fall trifecta later this month. Volleyball, football, and a couple of soccer games if everything goes according to plan. And if you're watching this on YouTube, tomorrow, boys soccer, Duluth East Stillwater, a rematch of the Class 2A state championship last year. 6:03 to go. 4th and about 2, and Wilson met at the line of scrimmage. Mounds View comes up big again. That may have been the best drive of the game for Woodbury, and they don't have any points to show for it. 5:58 to go. And you can put a bow on this one, I think. Mounds View, they're not going to do anything silly here. They're just going to run the clock out. Woodbury going to use the remaining 2 timeouts to try to save as much time as they can, but the difference has been the big plays. The difference is big plays as the moon is now shining on this Friday the 13th. You can't see it from here, but it is beaming down. Full moon on Friday the 13th, but for Mounds View, this game, this performance, anything but unlucky. 5 turnovers. Jed Liang hit with the false start penalty. Again, for Mounds View, not a point of concern, although it does push him back 5 yards. So they go from the 11-yard line to the 6. That pushes them deeper into their own territory. But I just haven't seen a lot out of Woodbury to suggest that could come back to haunt them. And Tebbett will make up those 5 yards as he found a hole up the middle. Woodbury will okay, Woodbury hanging on to their timeout. Why did the clock stop? There we go. I think officials were sorting something out there. And the officials are telling the scores table, run the clock. I don't know why it stopped. And now the officials are going to get this sorted out. It's at 5:39. I'm not sure where the clock was supposed to be, but I'm trying to figure out why it stopped in the first place. It was a run play. Woodbury will use this moment to get a substitution in. 5:32. I've seen some interesting situations, but rarely do you see a clock stoppage like that. I know we play with college rules more or less. And now Mounds View got Woodbury to jump. That'll make it 3rd and about 3. Marty Ream called offside. 3rd and 3. And Stenstrom will take it himself. He'll be short of the first down marker, and Woodbury alertly calls their final timeout, which will stop the clock with 4:44. And Mounds View got their cell phone lights on. We've got a nighttime roller coaster, and let's see if the Woodbury student section will respond with their phones, because as you know, everybody's got one, even Aaron over here. Aaron, our camera guy. So Woodbury out of timeouts. But I just don't think they have enough time, and they haven't demonstrated enough ability to move the ball downfield. As the clouds are slowly clearing out. It's supposed to be a beautiful day tomorrow. Colin Hoyda looks like he's lining up to punt this one. No, that's Lar, I should say. And Walt just calls for a fair catch and lost it momentarily. Falls on it just past the 50. Woodbury will start at the 48-yard line, but I just don't know if there's enough time. Really, the story of this game has been turnovers, turnovers, turnovers galore. Five on the part of the Royals that have killed drives and on 2 occasions led to Mounds View touchdowns. And that is what this game came down to. Woodbury gets a first down there. Mac Lochner brings the ball to the 41-yard line, but there's just not enough time. I know we've seen some crazy things. St. Michael, Albertville, and Maple Grove with a couple of those miracle runs, but it would take a lot, and I just haven't seen enough of it out of Woodbury, although Reinhardt's going to get another big chunk of yards, taking the short dump from Wilson. Reinhardt going to the 28-yard line for a gain of 12. So Wilson, we saw this earlier, he can move the ball downfield, but once Woodbury gets to the red zone, that's where they've struggled. Clock stops again. Wilson motioning Reinhardt to the right side, and Woodbury, they got to move the ball. They can't waste a lot of time on these huddles here. And Lochner comes up with the catch. Unfortunately, he's only going to gain a couple of yards out of it. I should say Cole Heather making the catch. Was a little off balance. Nice job to haul it in, but you don't need 2-yard gains. You need big plays here as the clock continues to run. 3:30 and counting. Wilson will keep it and run out of bounds. He has enough for the first down as he passes the 18-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 17, and that stops the clock with 3:22. So that was a welcome play for the Royals. You get the first down and you get the clock to stop. Wilson has space up the middle and will go to the 10-yard line. So Wilson picks up 7 on that play. Charlie Wilson, as we said, the first time all season he has taken snaps under center, and these last couple of drives, I know the last series didn't result in a score for Woodbury, but Wilson showcasing his running ability under center. This time Mounds View meets him behind the line of scrimmage. Drew Lindgren and Cole Sandahl meet up with the Woodbury quarterback, one of them anyway, and that will make it 3rd and about 4 yards. 4-down territory, of course. Wilson looking to throw. He's in trouble. Finds some space up the middle. Still going, and he will get to the 5-yard line. So Wilson turning a near sack into a first down. It's 1st and goal. That stops the clock for a moment as they reset the chains. 1st and goal from the 5. Can Woodbury run it in? Wilson doing a fantastic job these last couple of drives to move the ball downfield. Wilson underthrows his target, Heather the intended receiver, and Wilson was under pressure on 1st down. 2nd and goal from the 5. Woodbury out of timeouts. Split back. Reinhardt has it. Looking to turn the corner, and he will. Touchdown Woodbury. Just their 3rd on the season, and the 1st for Reinhardt. Brock Reinhardt averaging 4.5 on the season. And number 12, Scott Hansen, will line up for the PAT. So Woodbury finally moves the ball downfield. They had struggled to do that all game long. It finally pays off here, but they're going to need a lot to go their way. But they avoid the shutout for the 3rd straight week. PAT is good. 21-7 with 1:55. So a little bit of drama here. But again, you're looking at a 14-point deficit, 2 touchdowns. So Woodbury, you're probably looking at an onside kick. And remember, they're out of timeouts. But how about Charlie Wilson finding lanes these last couple of drives? And this time, it helps set up a Woodbury score. Woodbury playing Stillwater next week at Pony Stadium. That game will be on Valley Access channels. Mounds View, as we noted, going on the road to play Minnetonka. And in 6A, there are no easy games. Well, unless you're Eden Prairie or Lakeville North, then you might get a few. But more often than not, every game is going to be a challenge. And the band trying to rally the crowd tonight at Royal Stadium. Here's the onside kick from Hansen, and it is fielded by Mounds View. And with Woodbury out of timeouts, Mounds View can kneel down here. So, like we said, this was not a runaway win. Mounds View didn't overpower this Woodbury team, but they made big plays, and more importantly, they won the turnover battle, and they were able to convert 2 turnovers into touchdowns. 5-1 the official tally, but 1:54 left. Woodbury cannot stop the clock. Mounds View will do a few kneel downs and move to 3-0. Woodbury, they found some functionality in offense, but it was too late for the Mustangs. I don't want to say they're an underappreciated team, but they've been flying under the radar in 6A. Now, there are only 31 teams, so being in the top 10 may not mean a whole lot to some football fans out there, but they have been getting the attention of writers around the Metro as they have made their way up the rankings. Another win over Woodbury will certainly help the cause. Minnetonka, that's going to be a big match. Stillwater, you would think that would be a chance to win a game. So this Mounds View team is not one to be slept on. And remember, they trailed against White Bear Lake before rallying to win, and they'll just need one more kneel down in this one. 21-7 will be the final. And there wasn't one superstar, one player that made the difference in this one. It was a collective effort, and I don't say that just as a cliche. It really was. Cole Stenstrom responsible for a couple of touchdowns. He had that nice 43-yard pass to Jack Rober, but Mateo Cisnero, I'd say that was key from a psychological perspective when he got that 35-yard fumble return for a touchdown following a punt. Woodbury got a stop, forced a 3-and-out. And as far as momentum goes, I think that Cisnero touchdown sealed it as it took Woodbury out of it, out of their flow. And the teams huddle up, line up, and will shake hands as the clock hits 0. Mounds View moves to 3-0. Woodbury remains winless. They fall to 0-3. 21-7 is the final, and what was a quick-moving game here at Royals Stadium here in Woodbury. Once again, Cole Stenstrom, one touchdown pass. He has one interception as well today, and then a touchdown run. And then Mateo Cisnero with that 35-yard return. Reinhardt with his first rushing touchdown of the season for the Royals, but 5 turnovers did them in. It was not the best of games for the Royals as Woodbury will regroup and try to get their first win of the year against Stillwater. You know, the Ponies present a chance to win one, but they're a team that can sneak up on you. So Mounds View emerges victorious here at Royals Stadium with a 21-7 win over conference rival Woodbury, and they will remain one of the undefeateds in Class 6A. So that does it here from Royals Stadium. And I've enjoyed being all by myself, talking to myself, but even I can only take so much of myself in a game. So that does it from here. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Beaton. Thank you for watching high school football. We're back tomorrow, if you're watching this on YouTube, with boys soccer. Next football game, next Friday, Cooper and Holy Angels. Until then, thank you for watching.